It's extremely difficult.
Yeah, metaphorically and physically, today is a very difficult terrain. How are you doing, Marshall? You asked me first, but now we're streaming, so I get to ask you first.
I didn't know that was the rule, but I'll accept the referee's call. I think that it's a pretty good day. I've been just chilling. Had some avocado toast this morning. I worked on. I sent you a picture of part of it, but I've been really getting back into my big map that I've been working on. It's just to give you a sense of scale. It's that over there.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I've been getting back into working on that. Oh my god, I just realized my hair looked weird as fuck, greasy as shit.
Join
anyway,
crew.
But I'm now very aware that I should have shaved today. But anyway,
join the crew.
Anyway, but no,
that's the podcast with me is that neither of those things matter when you're next to me on the screen.
I think in recent years I realized that there's certain types of things I find fun, and there's certain types of things I find, I don't know what the word is, therapeutic or relaxing, calming. And I find like painting minis or drawing on maps or anything like that, I don't necessarily find it fun, like in a like, oh yeah, but like I find it very like at the end I feel like my heart rate's down, I feel calmer. It's good to have things like that aren't necessarily just something you do just to like get your willies or whatever, but something that can kind of bring you back down to earth and calm you. But no, it's been not that I was super fucking like revved up this morning, but it's always good. But yeah, it's been my day. It's been a slow day so far. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah.
That response was like a painting. It told 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So what's been going on besides the fact that you shared earlier that you were caught a little bit off guard by the stream today? But what?
It's nothing crazy. I like very little is going on, which is part of the problem. It's just my sleep's all over the place.
Just bored.
Yeah, I'm stuck inside for a week. Is
the lockdown still going on there?
Yeah. We've had like some extra stuff put in the local area. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Why specifically a week? Is it that like
I can have? Well, I'm stuck inside for longer, but I can have somebody's gonna bring me food in a week. So I'll be a little bit less stressed.
Is this like someone you've hired, or just a nice person?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I like it. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad someone's bringing you food. So you don't starve.
Well, no, that'll be in like 6 days, and I have 2 days worth of food, so it's going to be a wild ride.
Wait.
I'll be fine. Don't worry. I'll figure it out. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to figure it out yet, but I know I will figure it out.
Half rations?
Have you seen me, Marshall? Have you seen me? I'm considering ordering takeaway from a nearby city.
A nearby city? You gotta go to another.
Yeah. Because right now you're not allowed to order takeaway here.
Okay, so so town ordinance type thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. That's you're really close to what big city again? I forget.
I'm relatively close to Manchester, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. Yeah. So you gonna order takeout from Manchester?
Maybe that's a bit far away. There might be something a bit more close.
A Manny. Oh, dude. Has anyone ever, is mani-pedi in Manchester a thing? Do people get like, manicures there? Call it a mani-mani? No? Okay. Tip your waiters.
Honestly, I actually haven't been to Manchester that often, to be fair. So, I don't know.
My new expression when I tell a joke that totally lands flat is I sit there for 3 seconds and then I go, tip your waiters, everybody.
Imagine having waiters in this day and age. Jeez. Privilege.
You need to come to America.
No, I don't.
You don't want to. You don't want to. Unless you want to die. It's getting rough. It's funny because, it's not funny. It's funny in that way that things are terrible. But it's funny because the we're at an all-time peak of COVID cases. And I think the average person here thinks that we're at an all-time low or something. Like,
you mean
people's perception of the situation in active cases, we're at an all-time high. And I think people's perception of the situation does not the average American's perception of the situation, I don't think lines up with how it really is. So and most states, like, there's plenty of states. The state I'm in now has definitely mandated a lot of stuff, closed down a lot of stuff, so that's good. Michigan's doing pretty well, but the state south of me, my home state, Indiana, is a literal garbage den of fire because they aren't even requiring most people to wear masks. So it's just like people are walking around, no masks, going, I presume, to their regular places, because I don't even know how much is really even closed there. I think you can still go to restaurants in Indiana. Eat at a... What?
You can do that here. It's a similar thing in the UK now. Everything's fucking open now. And that's... I think it's probably a similar situation with what you said about the average perception kind of being here, because it feels like we're going really, really quickly.
Well, and from what I understand, the UK also has a really high per capita death toll right now from it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So. The numbers aren't good. They're really bad.
And I'm not sure. I mean, the US has both a bad per capita death toll and just a terrible death toll in general, because there's so many fucking people here. It's that's been going on around me, but I'm in a state, thankfully, where people are actually being somewhat sensible. But whenever I hear from friends or family in other places, there's a water park in Ohio that's just open that I learned about, and there's no social distancing. People are just going to the water park, fucking going down the slide together, vomiting on each other,
nice.
Pissing in each other's mouths, just all sorts of water park shit. It's the fall. It's the fall of the Republic, but yeah.
The real shit show is gonna be in November, because that's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
really shocked that at least in the UK, and it seems similar in the US, that there isn't just an official plan that seems to be publicly available. They're like, oh yeah, we're getting back to normal. Ignore the incoming second spike. Ignore that. Just don't worry about it. We don't need to worry about that. There's no plan for that. Just get back to normal.
And here for our election, the president is actively undermining mail-in voting, which is one of the best ways to actually hold a democracy during a pandemic. And so I have no idea how many people are actually going to show up to the polls. And when they do show up to the polls, because there's also been all these, because we've been having regional elections throughout the year, and a lot of them, they've closed polling centers when really they should be opening more, so there's less people concentrated at each polling center, right? So they close half of the polling centers, so now there's 2-3 times as many people at a given polling center. So they're actually just exacerbating the issue, and it's and in many cases they just don't have enough people to volunteer. It's a complete shit show. The presidential election, because motivation to vote, I've read is super high this election, but the precautions to keep people safe are just I've not been convinced at all it's going to be ran well, except in some maybe regional elections. But I think by and by it's going to be a complete shit show, and it's and people are going to go home to people are gonna and then Thanksgiving is 2 or 3 weeks later. So and people are going to be traveling around the country for that. So I think November and December are going to be a bonfire in terms of COVID cases. Like, it's just, I think I wouldn't be surprised if that is the worst time in the history of this disease. 10 years from now, when we look back, that this fall could be like the worst time. But
I'd be surprised if it was worse than like March, April, because there were a lot of places. I mean, maybe okay. This is going to sound optimistic, so feel free to disagree with this. But I feel like a lot of places weren't taking it seriously enough. And I know you might think that they're not taking it seriously enough now, but compared to then, I think like there's far more insurmountable evidence that this is a real problem, as opposed to in those early days where, while it wasn't a fair argument, at least it was one that was being posited a lot, that it's not something to be taken too seriously. And then of course we've got so much more knowledge about it now, and we know which types of precautions to take. I think it's going to be bad. I don't think it's going to be as bad as like March, April.
I hope not. But I think that considering March and April are some of the least busy, if they let people travel as normal, my worry is March and April are like not a busy travel season at all, at least in the US. But November, December is like when everyone drives across the country to go back to their house. So, and I'm not sure how many people are actually going to take it seriously and just stay where they are and just celebrate the holidays there. I'm sure I'm not very confident that the average American citizen is going to do that. So that's my main concern. I hope it's not as bad as March and April, but I think it has the potential to be because of just the amount of people that are going to be moving around during that period. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm sure everyone at home, if there is anyone at home, has had enough of COVID talk. What is what is Tarius's plan for today? What is Tarius up to today?
Tarius is going to hike through the mountains.
Yeah.
And 13 hours straight.
Yes, I was gonna say. So it's 13 hours. We'll review the trek. The first day is 7 hours.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to a tower. Then the big trip, if you can do it, is a 13-hour trek between the two towers. And then the final trek. Jesus Christ, trek is 7 hours from the last tower. I do love. Last session I didn't say this, but I love Tarius's comment. Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if this is Tarius or you out of character, but one of you was like, "Why don't they just build a third fucking tower?"
Yeah, that's what they're for.
Well, no, the towers are actually to watch out over the pass. They're not for people to stay at.
Well, then there clearly must be a massive gap in visibility between them.
Well, maybe, yeah, could be. But keep in mind,
where do people stay then? Where are the patrols supposed to stay?
Oh, the patrols stay at the towers. Well, but they could just go back to their other tower.
Well, how do they travel from one tower to the other? Surely, do they not do that often?
Well, let's see. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's a shit setup. 4 and then back, 4 and then back. So there's a 5-hour gap in the middle where, that's probably where the problems have been.
I can't remember where I found it, so if we just want to ignore this, that's fine. But I swear I looked up that it was like, oh wait, here it is. Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. Never mind. Ignore everything I just said. I completely ignore me. What were you gonna say? There was a 5-hour gap in the middle.
I was just gonna say I just did the calculation. Yeah, I guess theoretically, there's a 5-hour gap. So I mean, I guess what the patrols probably do. And I mean, to be fair, this guy has said that he has slept on rocks before. So it's implied that he doesn't always sleep in the towers, and he's one of the patrolmen.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times they probably just sleep on the trail.
Yeah. Which Tarius is inefficient.
I think Tarius thinks that his bones will break if a fly lands on him, so
both Tarius and Putty cannot believe that no good patrolman has never been lost to sleeping out in the wilds. surely there have been many casualties over the hundreds of years that they've done this from doing that.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
So
And they're building the towers. They'll get on it.
Are they?
It's gonna take a while.
I think they implied they
no.
weren't building the third tower.
The paperwork is going through. That takes a few decades. Okay, you gotta send it up to corporate. Then it's got to come back down for, there's got to be a cost analysis, an environmental impact survey. Yeah. They've got to speak to the foreman. Okay, then they've got to get the supply.
They've got to go through the consultation process with the orcs.
Yeah, of course. Consultation process. That takes years.
Because remember, it's not about consent, it's about consultation. But getting the word to them is so hard because they'll kill the envoys.
And if you go short on that consultation process, as we know, it's gonna be a shit show. Right? You gotta take everyone always wants to race to the end of the consultation process, but it's a long process. That's how you do it right.
You're so right. What campaign was that?
That was the one where we were doing the consultation process game.
It was one of yours, wasn't it?
Fuck, I don't remember. It was either one of mine or one of.
Charles?
It was one of ours.
Are you sure it was?
Maybe Charles.
I don't think it was one of mine because I'm pretty proactive on starting stuff.
It could have been one of Charles. God, I don't know. I don't remember which. It was either Charles or mine. I doubt it was one of Toe's because I remember, was very annoyed by the meme.
Wasn't it? What? I'm curious. I know we were playing Borderlands during it.
We were playing Borderlands during it?
Yeah, I have a weird.
Like you and I were playing Borderlands during it?
You and maybe Chris?
Well, I know you and Chris played Borderlands a while back.
Me and you have played Borderlands recently.
We did?
Yeah. It was like by recently I mean like 2 years ago. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but you just got to keep in mind it's a long consultation process. They'll get to it. I
expect one of these two towers that we find to be sparkling and new. That would help sell me.
Keep in mind these dwarves.
I know. Yeah.
Let's say it takes 50 years to build a tower. That's like a 2-year construction process in the life of a human,
Yeah.
Maybe not that much, but it's probably around there. Anyway, so you set out frustrated with the dwarves, these assholes. They're not.
I think that's overselling.
It's okay. It's okay. You can no. So, by the way, do you like at any point say that you recommend that the dwarves get on this tower building, or do you kind of just leave it?
Oh no, I mentioned it last time.
Well, I think you asked them about it. Did you recommend that they get it?
Yeah, and I said they should call it the Tarius Tower.
Oh, I remember. Okay, I forgot about the Tarius Tower. Yeah, we'll name it that. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let us leaf ourselves into the session then. So Tarius and company, Tarra's Fist, last session were received by the great dwarves of Clan Grim. And there they received mead and ale aplenty, food to their liking, women, men, anything they want. No, I'm just kidding. It was the fall of Rome. No, it was a nice meal, good drinks, hearty laughs, and Tarius, I think, got a really, really good sleep there because of how soundproof the rooms are. So it was like he was in his mother's womb. It's just completely isolated, silent. Wet. Actually, it was dry. Analogy. Yeah. And after that, good God, can you imagine all the complications with Tarius's birth, with how low his constitution is? He was probably a sickly baby. Oh God, I feel bad for you.
Miracle. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. The fact that you survived before the age of of advanced medical science is just.
Some may say I was blessed by a goddess.
Some may say.
Some may say.
I would.
Okay.
But
all right. Well,
maybe
it's you who matters in this case. So.
maybe well, I don't know everything that's going on in my world.
Okay.
I don't think any DM does.
No, that's true.
But and if a DM tells you, player, he's lying.
You should still believe him. You know, it's like
you should. Oh well, yeah. Obviously, it's your duty.
It's like
but...
Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like it's just more fun to believe that.
Believe it, but like
it's not true. No,
it's not true. I mean, I guess it's true in the sense that if you ever ask the DM a question and they really want to answer it, then even if they didn't know the answer when you asked the question, they can make it so. So there is a sense in which it's true, but it's not literally true. Anyway, so you guys set out with your two guides. Who I have their names here by the name of Monjo and Khalees. And they're both guides. They told you that they're patrolmen. So we are going to start with the first 7 hours of travel.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering, given that tomorrow, the second day is going to be very intensive in terms of me trying to set stuff up and like play it well. Starting on this first day, I'd be curious. Do you have a number of miles we'll be traveling? If not, could you?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I could figure it out real quick. I think it would be. It would essentially be 7 times 2. It will be. Oh, I was just did the calculation wrong. You will be traveling 42. Wait, no. Divide that by 2. Forget. So you're in difficult terrain.
Right.
So we count the normal distance as half. So you will be traveling 10.5 miles today. It would be 11 miles if you traveled a full 8 hours, but if you're traveling the 7 hours, then you'll be traveling you'll be traveling 10.5 miles today.
Gotcha. 10.5. Okay. So am I right in saying, then, that if we traveled a day at slow pace, we travel 9 miles? An 8-hour day at slow pace, we travel 9 miles. And then we could push on for another 2 hours afterwards to cover that last... Or like an hour and a half afterwards to cover that last mile and a half. At slow pace.
What, isn't slow pace
18 miles for an 8-hour day in normal terrain, so 9 assumedly in difficult. And then an hour.
Oh. It's 8, so it's, what is it? Is that 2/3 as much? How much is that as much?
I have to, but is there hold on. Yeah.
Oh, it's 3/4 as much. So it's you're at 3/4 speed, I guess, when you're traveling slow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I assume so.
Okay, yeah. So your quest, you want to travel at slow pace.
Yeah. So
that you can sneak, basically. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just take it slow. Yeah. Yeah.
Slow pace for the first.
Slow pace for this entire thing.
Slow pace for the entire thing.
Yeah,
because you should be able to do that.
It'd be slow pace for the entire thing, and it would be 10 hours, or slow pace for 8 hours, and then an additional 1 hour at normal pace. But I think, yeah, I mean, if you want me to go through those calculations again before I start thinking.
Are you going to do the 10 miles or the 8 and 1?
You mean the 10 hours?
Or the 10 hours or the 8 and 1?
Am I right in both of those being correct?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
1 hour at normal pace. I mean, 2 hours would be pretty rough. But it's training for tomorrow.
It's training. Well, yeah. Although, if you take on 2 levels of exhaustion, you're fucked the next day.
Well,
because you'll only get one of them back.
Yeah. True.
If you take on 1, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that's why the one going 9 hours, it's no problem.
Wait, it would be 9.5 hours, right? Because you've got to cover 10.5 miles, and you cover a mile in an hour at slow pace.
That's fine. We'll just round it down.
So I would. So no matter what, if I went at slow pace,
I mean, it'll take 9.5 hours narratively, but mechanically, we'll just
that.
say if you go 9.5, then. Or are you saying the 8 and 2 is actually 8 and 1.5?
Correct.
Oh, in that case, then you're fine.
So I would. They would only be counted as 1 hour pushing on for exhaustion purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah. Let's roll at slow pace today.
Okay, cool.
So we got fast pace.
So remind me, I think at slow pace you get what is it? Advantage to perception checks, I think.
No advantage.
Something of that nature.
No advantage. There's no benefit to perception. The only thing it says in this table I'm looking at in the compendium is able to use stealth.
Oh, okay. I think it's disadvantage to perception if you move at quick pace.
Yeah,
I think that's
correct.
I think that's it.
-5 penalty. Actually, there's no disadvantage to perception. It's only -5 to your passive, which is technically disadvantage. But if we did actively look, I suppose we wouldn't.
That's fair. If at any point, but the DM is of course not going to let you. Then they're gonna. I guess if you're like DM, I want to look right now.
I think if I was on a horse, I think that would be appropriate. But I don't think we are on any mounts or anything, are we?
No, none of you are on mounts. I think Ragni said that you guys could have. Ragni will say that the proper mount for these mountains is a large male mountain goat.
Yeah.
Some dwarves have trained with them, but you can't be a really big dwarf to ride one because they're not as big as a horse. So you can't just be like a giant. Ragni's too big to ride one, he would tell you. But if you are a slender dwarf, maybe a woman or a smaller male dwarf, then you can ride a mountain goat. Tarius is probably slender enough to ride a mountain goat if he had one that was trained. But they're as you can imagine, mountain goats are hard to train. They're very rambunctious, difficult to control. They're not like horses. And horses, you could take them up here, but it'd be difficult to ride them, and they would need frequent breaks if you were riding them. So it would end up actually slowing you down if you were riding them. So there would be no point in bringing them really. Because if you're not riding them, what are you doing? I mean, I guess you could take them just in case you need them in White Veil. But being on foot ain't so bad. So you are marching through, and you're going at slow pace. Why don't you, if you are stealthing, why don't you have anyone who is stealthing roll a stealth check? Probably everyone, I would guess.
Absolutely. I don't know if you want to make the roll for the guides, or if you want to do that narratively, or if you'd like to give me a sheet, or anything like that.
Oh, no, I can make the roll for the guides. The guides auto... No, I'm just kidding. They auto succeed.
Well, I know the area. I don't know how you want to do it. Okay, so... Alessandro... doesn't actually have stealth proficiency. Ragniaf Grim obviously doesn't have stealth proficiency. Serenald and Kristin.
Yikes! These are some rough rolls.
They're not bad. They're not that bad. Sir Ragni's terrible. The rest I would say are relatively okay.
Look, let's face it. An 11 for Alessandro is basically a critical failure.
For Alessandro, sure, but 11...
I expect far better from the golden god, Alessandro.
That is fair. I still imagine it would... Then again, 12 is, I think, what you're looking for.
I mean, it depends what you run into.
Yeah.
There's some things are going to have some pretty, they're going to be able to spot you. But
yeah.
If you run into more ogres, you think though that ogre was really bad at perceiving things. So ogres won't be a problem, probably, unless they like actively look and then they roll an at 20 and you're like, fuck. Okay, anyway, so you are slinking through the pass. You're going at a slower pace. You're taking your time. Moving through brush when you can. There's not much left. Moving through rocks when you can. The dwarves actually teach you a trick. you can use the bedroll that they gave you, or a blanket if you have one, and it's got, because of it's kind of a gray color, you can kind of drape it over yourselves to make yourselves look like rocks. So, some of you do that. It helps. Sir Renault didn't do it because he thought it looked dumb. He thought the wool would get stuck on his armor, so he just walks the sun glittering off his armor.
I say to Sir Renault, you're going to look a lot dumber dead. Can I roll
Sir Renault says, you can roll persuasion. He can't get better than what he rolled on stealth, but narratively you can convince him.
9.
You can't convince. He says, well, if I oh god, I forgot his. Oh god, I gave you a
third voice. Not a third voice now.
I have been in many situations that require I will never die.
Okay, sorry, Lord. I get it.
And you guys continue to march on. Why don't you roll me a d8?
It's a 1.
That is a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 1. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's
that doesn't look good.
Okay.
Maybe it's great.
Well, yeah.
No. Okay,
maybe a 1 means you're gonna...
No. I feel the reaction. It's fine. It's terrible. Let's see what happens.
No, you don't know. It could be good.
It's a dragon.
Just
It's one of the worms. I'm dead. I'm already dead. Marshall, can you give me a new character sheet? Also, hold on.
It's a white worm.
4d6.
It's fucking Scarthorax.
Rock the lowest. Or I know you do point by, don't you? Hold on. Send me the point by thing. Gonna play Rogue this time. Why are we still talking about Tarius? Tarius died. He's gone.
Let's see here. Could you roll me a?
I refuse.
No, I'll roll it.
Okay.
Oh, God.
At least roll it publicly. Cheat. Okay. Cheat. I rolled a 50.
Okay.
That's not better.
So, question. Did you have you and us? Because I'm assuming, because you usually do this, that you and Alessandro were actively looking for threats.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah. Was anyone else doing it, or was it just you two?
Unless they did it on their own volition, no. Because I wouldn't.
Actually, the guides would probably also be actively looking for threats, since that's their job.
Do you want me to?
One might say that's their literal job.
Do you want me to roll perception checks for me and Alessandro?
Yes. Why don't you roll perception checks?
Is there like any mist or anything this high in the mountains to cause disadvantage?
No. It's a clear day.
Man, Alessandro's not having a good day. Alessandro rolled an 8 and I rolled a 13.
You... Let me just... Oh, okay. Yeah, you... Wait, so... Oh, yeah, you rolled the 13, so...
I rolled 13, yeah.
Yeah, so... Tarius, as you guys are walking through, Tarius thinks he hears breathing. And now, of course, he can hear some of his party members breathing. He can't hear Alessandro breathing. It's a little creepy, but he can... he can hear some of his party members breathing. He can hear his dog. breathing right next to him. But this sounds deeper and almost like a whisper. It's farther away. And as he turns up, Tarius, you think you see figures waiting behind some rocks on the other side of the path that you're on. You think you see orcs, a pack of orcs. You think that they have spotted some of your party, but they haven't spotted all of your party. You don't think they have spotted you, for example. I think you rolled
12.
Yeah. They haven't spotted you. You think they definitely have spotted Serenal. You're not sure who else they may have.
Okay. Are the guys carrying crossbows? You said one of them was, right? Or
yes, one of them was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I usher to the guy who's carrying a crossbow and Alessandro to look behind me. I look behind me for cover. Rocks, maybe heavy foliage, something I could just get behind.
You ask them to look for it, or you look for it?
For it, yeah.
Oh, okay. There's rocks all over the place. If you wanted to take cover behind a rock, it wouldn't be too hard.
Okay, I'm going to. I'm going to usher to Alessandro and the guy that has a crossbow to join me in cover, and I'm going to watch as I'm going to cover to see if any of the plate wearers turn around and notice that I have abandoned them.
Yeah, so it was Alessandro and one of the guides.
The guy with the crossbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy with the crossbow. So Manjo is like, huh? and
reassuring.
And Serenalt says, well,
does he say any? Does he say does he turn before he says, or is he saying?
You can see he turns around and he looks like he wants to say something. Serenalt continues to walk. He looks super nervous. and Kristen is like, Kristen's gonna attempt to move over towards you, and as she begins to move over, you hear, "Kill the whelps!" Roll initiative. Actually, before you roll.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you roll?
I'm rolled, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Let us take over to the actual battle map. Oh, God.
Me and Alessandro and the guide, I guess, to roll, height checks when we get behind the cover? Because Or do you just want to use the old ones?
I was gonna just use the old ones and say that you guys are going to... So... This is actually a bit weird because the orcs, you are hidden from the orcs.
Yep.
The orcs are hidden from some of the PCs. so we're gonna have a layered surprise round. Gotcha. where we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna have a layered surprise round. Let me quickly draw out some terrain features. Okay, probably won't go much deeper than this.
I have a bad feeling about this. But I guess I have a bad feeling about every combat in this campaign. I don't know. I'm not worried for Tarra for some reason. I just have this ominous feeling that Ragni's gonna die.
Oh no! Why Ragni?
I don't know. I'm just looking at his short dwarf body and I'm like, he's the first to go. It's gonna be. Oh no! It's not about whether you can outrun the orcs. It's about whether you can outrun the dwarf. And I know I can.
Ragni's like, wait for me! Hold the line! And you start to run, and Tarius feels as an axe flies into his back. No, you know I can kill you, boy. So you are going to I would put the people who are hiding on either the right or the left side of the road. Okay. Because the orcs are going to be on the other part. So if you're on this, then Alessandro would probably you can put him there. That's fine.
Actually, let's pull back a little bit because they were a little further ahead. Although let's not do it in that order. Or maybe we should do it in that order. Actually, yeah, we'll do something like this, but the other way around, like that. And then
nice.
Can we get 2 guides?
Yeah, let me pull them in. Just pictures of Ragni.
Oh, Ragni, you're multiplying. Is it safe to roll initiative now since we're on this page? Or do you want to wait still?
You can roll initiative, yes. It is safe.
Oh, amazing. I assume this one doesn't have a shield. Actually, I don't think it'll matter. But
it doesn't. No, I think she probably has one on her back, but she's not wielding it right now. Okay. Let's see the turn order. Oh, beautiful, beautiful turn orders. Let me roll for these boys and girls.
Yeah, you do that. I hope those were the orcs and not the guides. Those were the guides. Oh no. That's Monjo. It's okay, Monjo is the one that we don't care about. In this specific situation, not in general.
Betrayal.
Look, it's the good old. It's called a counter ambush. All right. When you realize an ambush is afoot and you can't avoid it, you set up a counter ambush.
You counter. No, I mean this is genius. You know, it's if you can manage it, it's definitely the strategy. I think it's difficult, but you pulled it off. Although you will have to sacrifice some of your boys.
No, not sacrifice. That's why they wear the heavy armor. That's why they're there. They're gonna be fine.
They'll have to. You have to wait until the time is right. You have to watch as they die. Wouldn't that be wild if Tarius just let the orcs kill them and just hid? That would be rough.
They would understand, I think, for the good. For the good of the fist.
For the good of the fist.
They died so Tarius could live. You know, it's really it's a hero's end.
It's a hero's end. Let's see here. These are some classic orcs.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Let's see. Okay, so wait, yeah, this is a road. What's on the edge? What's outside the road? I guess is a good question.
Cliff face. So you could theoretically start climbing those walls. Those are cliffs.
Up? They're both up.
Yeah.
So wait, where were the orcs?
The orcs were just over here on the side of the road. Yeah. Okay. Just hiding behind rocks and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. There are 6 orcs. I'm gonna. Let's see. Okay. Hey. That's very good.
Okay. I believe you. You wouldn't deceive me.
Okay. Who has higher dex, Mosh or Kristen? I think it's probably Kristen.
We should just add it to their. You can add it specifically to their initiative roll. Hold on. But Dex has Kristen has 16 and Mosh has 14, so Kristen goes first.
Cool. So let us begin the combat. So we're gonna do a weird tiered surprise round. The first tier is gonna be the good old boys. It's gonna be Tari. I think the first person who gets to go. No, it's Alessandro. Is gonna be the first person who gets to go. So, what does Alessandro do?
Alessandro looks to Tarius for orders, and then Tarius kind of gives some hand signals, and Alessandro prepares an action to use his signature attack on whatever Tarius attacks, or when Tarius attacks, after Tarius attacks.
Okay. Do you have a target?
Yes, an orc.
This orc, or
I think I'm allowed to choose after, right? Or do you want me to specifically?
you might be. You might be able to choose after. That's probably fine.
You can tell me if you want me to.
No, I don't think it'll matter too much.
Okay.
Okay, so Alessandro is getting ready. He's pulling back the arrow. It is now Tarius' turn.
Okay. Wait, where is this orc facing?
Towards. No, actually, he's probably facing. Because they're unaware of you, right? So they're probably facing.
And if it's dark enough to hide over here, it's dark enough for me probably to move like here without them noticing me, right? Because I assume shadowy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say just same rules for stealth as normal, so you have to move it. I think it's just you'd have to move more slowly. I think it would be if you normally have 30 foot of movement, I think you have 20 feet of movement.
Okay.
In this case.
In that case, that makes things a little tricky. Could I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have my two blades out. And am I unseen? I think I am, yeah. Alright.
You are?
Cool. Alright, I'll take an attack on this orc. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Okay. 10 piercing.
Okay. You stab with your. They're short swords, right? I always forget.
Yeah, it's a short
Yeah,
sword.
you stab with your short sword right into the side of the orc. The orc lets out a howl of fear.
I cover them out.
You cover. It is. What do you do with your? Do you attack again?
If it's still, is it still alive?
It's still alive, yeah.
Okay, well after I've covered its mouth, I'll drive my sword into its front then, with my offhand. What kind of armor is this orc wearing? From a glance.
It looks like it's made out of natural materials like hides, furs.
Okay, then from my front attack, and again I'm trying to make this as quiet as possible. I'm going to attack, and then I'll use my clockwork amulet to make the attack roll 16.
You hit.
Okay. I'll just roll the offhand just so we have a damage to deal with. Okay, of course. 4. I've crit so many times when I didn't need to. when it doesn't do anything. Is the orc still alive after the second attack?
Yes, he is.
Is he looking pretty? Is he looking hurt, or do I think I've made a mistake?
He looks really badly hurt. He's making a lot of noise, and even through your hand.
Okay.
You can't. I mean,
so do I think that these guys are gonna know what's going on?
You think that you are no longer hiding? Yeah.
Shit. Oof.
You've never using the strategy. You've never not killed the thing before. I think every other time it's been the old slit the throat.
I'll have Alessandro take his reaction for 11 piercing to the orc.
Okay. Alessandro kills the orc. Its arrow brings him down. Do you do anything else with your turn?
Yeah, I'm in action surge and then action dash behind Alessandro.
Oh shit! Action surge just to run.
Yeah, I mean I can't take orcs attacking me.
Fair enough. Okay. It is Khalees also is going to be in this surprise round. Khalees is going to fire off a bolt from her crossbow. $17 to hit. She hits. Nine damage as the bolt embeds into the orc's hide, the furs and armor that he's wearing, and blood appears. And this orc also doesn't look happy and looks to be badly injured by the attack. Looks bloodied. Manjo we skip. Ragni we skip. Orc raiding party we skip for now. And now it's to the second tier, which is going to be all the people from the first tier and the orcs. So Alessandro gets to go again.
He's going to check his hunter's mark on that guy. And then he's going to attack him. 4, 6, plus another 3. So 9 on this guy.
Okay. Yeah, the arrow flies true, and he looks to be bloodied by this. You can see it's a gaping wound in his leg.
Okay. Jesus, it's loud.
Okay.
That's Alessandra's turn.
That's the end of his turn?
Yeah.
Okay, Tarius.
I actually forgot that we had a turn before that. I'll move to there and action hide.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check. Woo! I like it. Okay. It is that's the end of Tarius' turn then?
Yeah.
Okay. Khalees is going to fire off another at her target. Oh! Kills it.
Nice.
That orc bolt goes right in the orc's skull, bringing it down. It is now the orc raiding party's turn. We're going to start up at the top. This orc is going to... actually, I think I would have the orc move here and attack your guide, Manjo. 13 to hit, which... What is chainmail again?
16.
I think it's 16.
Yeah, and if he is wearing a shield, then it'd be 18.
Yeah. So it does not hit. Then the...
Is he guys wearing chainmail? I'm quite impressed.
You're quite impressed?
Yeah.
They are.
No. I'm thinking different.
What?
I was wondering if you slowed them down at all, but I don't think that is wrong.
No. I think you might take a penalty to speed if you can't meet the strength requirements.
It does give you a penalty to stealth. They should have rolled disadvantage, but it doesn't really matter here. No. Because they fucked anyway. Well, maybe this one.
Well, actually, no. She did succeed. Yeah. This one is going to move and attack Serenalt.
Oh, why? He's the master of the horse.
He's the master of the horse.
He's your boy. That hits.
That hits. Oof.
How
So
many-
Sir Renault needs to make a DC 9 Constitution save.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see as the orc hits Sir Renault, and Renault just shakes it off and bashes the orc back. Now Renault realizes what's going on. This orc is going to move up to Kristen and attack. 13 to hit.
That
Probably
might,
hits.
I think that might hit Christian. Yeah, that does hit Christian.
Yeah. Okay, Kristen needs to make a DC 9 Constitution save.
Yep.
Okay. The orc swipes at Kristen. It ends up just shaking her, but does not kill her or damage her. This orc goes and attacks
Excellent.
Alessandro.
Absolutely excellent. That is good to see. That
17
is
to hit.
Not good to see that hits. Oh, I made a dex.
DC 9 concept.
I made a dex save. It's 13 plus his con is 3, so it's the same roll.
Okay, he's fine.
Okay.
It is now the end of their turn. It is now Kristen's turn. Oh, wait. Yeah, it would be Kristen's turn.
Kristen doesn't have any spells that aren't ranged. And I believe these are humanoids. So it doesn't really help much. So, Kristen is going to take the... Oh wait, no, her spells automatically hit if I hit. Okay, well, her signature attack does. So, I guess Kristen will prepare... She's going to look around the battlefield, not knowing where her lieutenant is, and prepare a ray of frost on this orc if she ever sees him attack this turn, after his turn. Yeah, and that's the end of it.
Okay.
I haven't given Mosh any commands, so you can tell me how he acts, because...
Mosh is definitely frightened, growling a little bit. But if the orcs leave him alone, then he just sort of sits there in a defensive posture. Sir Renault, which I mean, if they kill Kristen, Mosh is the next to go. Sir Renault, what does he do?
He nods over to Ragni and says, keep him safe from the one below. He's going to take the opportunity attack.
Okay. Takes the opportunity attack. Oof.
Okay. Is the DC changed?
Yes. The DC would now be DC 15 con save.
Or go down, which he goes down.
Okay,
Right,
he doesn't go. Oh yeah, he actually would go down because it's 2 die of damage. So Sir Renault, who was very confident that he was going to be fine today. Okay. He's like, look at how shiny my armor is, and the orc takes his great axe, swings, and just cleaves right through Sir Renault's shiny armor, and you can see blood on the ground as Sir Renault falls. It is now Alessandro's turn.
Alessandro will prepare an attack on this orc if at the end of Tarius' set of attacks.
Okay. It is now Tarius' turn.
Alright. Tarius will move to here. Unseen. And crit.
Christ.
For 9.
Double crit.
Uh,
Fuck a spider. You kill him.
okay.
How do you want him to die?
Just like, stay away from my archer. And then I'll pull
Through
him
the
aside.
shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll pull him aside and hope that Alessandro could shoot another target. Will you allow that?
What was his prepared action?
To shoot that orc.
I mean, earlier we were saying you could choose the target when the trigger goes off, so we'll say that he can.
It was a rather specific trigger, but I appreciate that.
It was a rather specific trigger, but You know, technically I shouldn't have even allowed the specific trigger, you know? Anyway.
Okay, so he'll attack that one.
65 should be within range.
It's 150.
The longbow. Yeah.
So it automatically hits, right? It's a 7 on the one, the very north one that just attacked.
Yeah. So the arrow lands. The orc is still in good shape, but definitely felt that.
Kristen's goes off against this thing, the one right next to it, and she will hit for 8 cold damage.
Ooh, Kristen's finally getting in some damage. Kristen is, I think, done the lowest damage in the entire party.
It's still Tarius' turn. He's only moved 20 feet.
That orc looks frozen.
Oh my! Washindaru.
Mashindaru.
Tarius is going to move behind this rock.
Nice.
But not hide.
Houses, yeah, of course. Khalees's turn. Khalees is going to fire at this orc here. That's a miss. As the crossbow flies, the bolt flies over the orc's shoulder as the orc is engaging in battle with Kristen. Monjo's turn. Monjo, noticing Serenal going down, Monjo immediately jumps into action, swings at the orc in front of him, hits. You can see as the orc gets hit, blood. The orc looks bloodied and terrible, but the orc is still alive. It is now, it's now Ragni's turn.
Oh, Renat, you stupid bastard.
Renat, you stupid bastard.
Move up and attack the guy to his south.
Nice.
Oh wait, it's an auto
hits.
Yeah.
Auto hit.
6. It's
okay.
Disappointing for Ragni. That's a 2 on the D12.
That is that is like a critical fail for Ragni. Ragni's big thing is damage.
Ragni is distracted by Serenal's condition.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I mean, he's probably he definitely has a kinship, a competitive sort of kinship with Serenal. So it's I doubt he's very happy about Serenal being down on the ground right now. Cuts into this orc, and I think Ragni felt conflicted because there's a part of Sir. Oh wait, no, actually no. This is the orc that got Serenal, so never mind. Yeah, Ragni wants to kill this orc, but unfortunately for now, it's still up. It is now the orc raiding party's turn. I just realized that's me. So this orc is going to attack the guide, Monjo. Monjo, my man.
Come on, Monjo. Okay.
Misses. Can't get through that fucking armor. Can't even try. The other orc attacks Ragni. Oh, the orc stumbles in front of Ragni as he's bleeding and sees that Ragni swing up for another attack and just completely chokes under the pressure. The orc next to Kristen hits. Kristen needs to make a DC 9 con save. Ooh! As Kristen goes down to 1 health level, Kristen, you can see she's bloodied. She gets hit right in the shoulder, tears some of her clothes, and you can see fresh blood on her shoulder as this orc is getting ready to put her into the ground. It's now Kristen's turn.
Okay. Not particularly well. Kristen's gonna disengage. And then,
Okay.
20 feet, and then move behind here. Alright, that's the end of her turn.
Nice. Yeah, so Kristen goes behind the rock, and it is now Mosh's turn, who continues to sit there, afraid,
I'm unhidden, so I'm not averse to shouting out, "Move, boy, move!" and pointing towards Kristen.
Okay, what's his move DC?
It's 12, I think, and I got a 13. Yeah, it's 12. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's now an 11, and Mosh goes over or I'll let you place him specifically where you want him.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, great. Man, his DCs are getting lower. I think I just so you know, once he reaches 5, we count it as learned, so you don't even need to roll once he hits 5.
Gotcha.
So he's getting there.
Yep.
He's about to reach. No, he is at 50% now. At 11, at DC 11, he has a 50% chance of succeeding. So at this point, he's just gonna fly to the end of that trick. Takes a little longer on the other ones. Just with sheer willpower, yelling at him, you've gotten him very far. Just move, move,
move on, go on,
move, come on. So Reynolds.
That's one success.
I like that you're starting with the basics. You know, you're getting him to move, and then you're gonna get him to,
fetch.
Yep. And then kill.
I don't know if there's any real way to mark his death saves.
We could do warm colors for fail and cool colors for success.
Gotcha. All right.
So it is now Alessandro's turn.
He's gonna bonus action move his hunter's mark to this guy, and then shoot.
Okay. Nice.
12, I think misses.
12 does miss, unfortunately. Just misses.
Okay.
Tarius, what do you do?
Move to here and take the hide action, if that's okay. Or do I need to be somewhere else? Is that alright?
You probably don't have full conceal. I mean, I think it would be better if you did it here, probably.
Okay. Because how dark is this area since the orcs were hiding in here? Because they did.
That's a good point.
Up there. Yeah.
Well, so but I was imagining that they were probably hiding behind the rocks as well. Like they weren't just like standing in the darkness. There were
6 of them. Okay, hold on. I think I was here to start the turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
That look good to you? Okay. I need someone. I know it's 6 second rounds, so I won't be much longer. That's fine. All right. I'll move to here and take the hide action then.
Okay. Roll stealth.
7.
Oh. Fuck. Yeah. You
If I'm concealed, they have disadvantage, which is a -5. I'm pretty sure that still beats it.
That's fair. Although I do critical failures on ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is now. What?
Does that work for successes as well?
Yeah, 20s I count as a critical success on ability checks.
Meaning it will succeed? Regardless of DC?
You didn't roll a 20.
No,
what?
No. A crit would succeed on regardless of DC?
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But I also, the way I balance it out to make sure that people can't obviously I don't let someone roll if it's something impossible, right? Okay. So if I let someone roll, it is usually because I think that the thing they're doing is possible, even if it's nearly impossible, because they could at least get a 20, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's the end of Tarius' turn. It is now Khalees's turn. Khalees is going to fire at this orc right here. And gets him. Probably it's the end of this orc's day. I mean, let's face it. Oh, the bolt goes straight through the orc's neck. You can see the orc sees Tarius, begins to move towards him, and then begins to choke on his own blood as he falls down dead. Monjo's turn. Monjo is going to attack the orc in front of him. Hits, same, or no, even better. And kills him. Brings down his hammer right on the orc's skull and kills him. It's now Ragni's turn.
Okay. Ragni is going to attack the guy below him. Missing.
Yeah, that's a miss. It is now the orc's turn, who's going to attack Ragni.
Hitting.
That hits. Need to make a con save. He succeeds. So Ragni just bounces the attack off of his sheer mass, and it is now Kristen's turn.
Kristen is going to Scorching Ray, the last remaining orc. 3. For 2 hits? Good question mark.
22 and 24 hits. The 8 does not.
18 fire damage to that last one.
Okay. You see as the orc is incinerated by just a blast of flame coming from Kristen. Every time Kristen has used this spell, I think it's failed up until now. The orc is incinerated. Nothing but ash and dust now. That's the end of combat.
Well, Sir Reynald's still in danger. I don't know if you want to stay in initiative rounds.
That's fair. I assumed that the first thing was going to be trying to save him, but we can find out. Mosh sits. Sir Reynald needs to make a save. I guess it is theoretically possible that something could really bad happen. Nah, it's probably unlikely at this point.
Fine,
what does Alessandro do?
I think Alessandro just moves closer and doesn't do anything.
Okay, what does Tarius do?
I'll use the healing kit. So it just stabilizes him.
Okay, yep. Subtract a use of the healing kit. I believe it has uses.
It does.
Like 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a resource for it.
Is this the first time you've used? I think this is the first time he's probably used the healing kit, right?
In campaign, yeah. I imagine not.
In campaign,
yeah.
I'm sure he's had to use it many a time. Yeah, you patch up the wound in Sir Reynald's chest, and Sir Reynald is stabilized.
Is the 8 hours so pushing on beyond 8 hours? Is that 8 hours of travel or 8 hours of time? I assume it's travel.
Travel. Nothing to stop you from taking a break.
Yeah. Except that we will be traveling in the darkness for longer, that's all. It's... What time of year is it again? Hold on. There's a handout for this. Or is there, actually? Oh no, it just explains the calendar.
Don't know. It's summer.
Okay. So I imagine it's light for quite a while. Alright. We wait the hour.
Yeah, it would probably not get really dark until like it wouldn't really start to get dark until like 8 o'clock, 8:30, and you left at probably like 8 in the morning anyway.
Probably.
So you've got a good 12 hours from when you left to when it's really going to start getting dark. So I wouldn't worry too much about the darkness. So you So you're gonna take an hour to wait and rest up. You see as the guides approach you and turn and say, more specifically, Monjo says, "Well, It is certainly a pity that that we were attacked today. I'm very glad that your friend is still alive. As I said, there are orcs to the north of here, but they have not. Well, they usually are not this aggressive. This is a surprise. I'm sorry that it caught us off guard.
Tarius is clearly bothered, and he just gives him a nod and doesn't say anything. He just stares out like he's probably gonna watch Renat like a hawk for the entire hour.
So this is Tarius's. Was Tarius pretty worried that Renat was going to die there?
Tarius, from pretty early on, Tarius thought that this didn't go particularly well, and then when Renat went down, he was like, "Oh, just my luck." And then if Renat ends up dying at the end of this, it's gonna be my fault. So he's very annoyed. He doesn't like it. He's very, I guess he's very like perfectionist, I guess, when it comes to battles. And if something, if this had a lot of like stumbling blocks in it, and Tarius is annoyed about that. He's probably going through them all. Yeah. Just over and over again.
I think from an objective perspective, you guys crushed it. Yeah, I mean, did really well. But I think I get that in Tarius's mind, if one person went down, another person got injured.
Yeah.
Tarius had some stumbles with his plans. He might have felt, if he's a perfectionist, then he probably wouldn't have been happy. Because especially with a lot of these battles, they have gone literally perfect. Yes, like, not one thing has gone wrong.
Literally all of them so far, Tarius in character has been very happy with. This is the first one where he's felt like, I could have done better with this.
Mm-hmm. Ragni, begins to speak to while you're sort of sitting over by Renat watching him like a hawk. Ragni takes the two guides over, and you can hear him saying things at them. Occasionally he shouts something. You're not sure what they're talking about exactly. He's speaking in Dwarvish. That's why you can't, he's loud enough that you would be able to hear if he wasn't speaking in Dwarvish. He's like, I don't know. That's the hour passes without event. During the hour, did you have anyone? Alessandro probably would have, even if you didn't tell him. But did you ask anyone to check the orcs' bodies?
No, not specifically. I don't stop Alessandro.
Yeah, Alessandro instinctively begins after the battle to pick their bodies. Like a fucking buzzard, he just ranges from one to the next, taking things off of them, stripping them of their weapons. He throws the weapons in a pile. Not sure if anyone's interested in them, but he does it anyway. He takes any valuable trinkets off them, which were very few, but he takes a few, and then he takes the bodies and drags them all basically right into this pile over here. The weapons all appear to be they appear to be great axes. There's a couple daggers in the mix. They look really the great axes look like these huge hunks of iron. They are not the forge work of the dwarves. And they look like what you would, if you wanted to do, if you or I wanted to make a weapon in our backyard and just built a really big fire, they look like this would be the result, right? They don't look professionally made. But they get the job done because they're really big and they're decently sharp. There are also some really crude looking daggers made out of bronze, and there are some javelins that appear to be imported. They don't look like the orcs made them. Either imported or stolen or something, but they don't look like the orcs made these. Unless the orcs just happen to be very good at making javelins and nothing else. It's the javelin tribe. And Alessandro piles the javelins, which each orc had a single javelin on him. So there were 6 javelins and a series of other weapons. If you're interested in them, he puts them there. And then he walks over to you and opens up a little pouch that he gathered their trinkets in. It amounts to basically he collected about 8 silver off of them and 10 copper. He asks what you want to do with it.
I don't. Without saying anything, I open my palm towards him.
He puts in your hand.
And then I'll put it on Sir Reynolds' belt.
Nice. So you put the money on Sir Reynolds' belt.
Yeah, and then towards the end of the hour, I guess it wouldn't be immediately, but when I'm like a little bit more calmed down, I'll go and I'll have a look at the daggers to just inspect them. Firstly, have
so like a half an hour in or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. You look at the daggers. What are you looking for when you look at them? Are you looking at them with a certain thing in mind, or just inspecting them in general?
No. First of all, how many of them are there?
2. There were 2 daggers. Not everyone had one.
Yeah. Are they light?
Yeah, they're light weapons.
I mean, like in terms of, like for a dagger, as daggers go.
Yes. I think. Oh God, I'm guessing this, but I think bronze is lighter than steel, so they're probably lighter than you're used to. Let me check, but I think it's true. Yeah, well, I'll just call it. It's lighter. They seem lighter.
A little bit lighter. Yeah. I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm not. Don't worry.
I'm gonna get you the exact pounds. 1 second. No, I'm just.
I'm sure they will just weigh dagger, but I'm asking like narratively. They seem quite sharp, or it seem quite dull.
They seem like they haven't been sharpened in a while. At least the sides appear like they haven't been sharpened in a while. The tip seems very sharp. You think that these in combat are used for just stabbing people, and then you can tell that these orcs probably use them to cut up food or cut up wood. They use them for utility purposes. So you can tell that they would need to be sharpened if you wanted them to be in good condition.
Okay,
but that's not necessarily impossible.
I pull up one of the orc bodies and I stick it on this rock here. I try and like stand it up.
So you place the orc on the body?
On the body.
Or sorry, you place the orc on the rock?
Yeah, I try to stand it up so that it's basically standing facing me, if I can do that on this rock.
Stand it up, as in...
Like, try and lean it on the rock so that it's as like vertical as possible.
You do so. You have to kind of pop his knees so that he keeps standing. But you take a few minutes to do it, and you're successful.
Then I'll walk over here and I'll try throwing the dagger at the body.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you roll me an attack?
Sure.
We'll call it a DC 10. Or AC 10.
Yeah, I'll just drag a dagger in because I might be using this in the future. 14.
Hits. Yeah, you deal damage to the corpse as a little bit. At this point, there's I'll say this is one of the orcs that wasn't particularly badly bloodied. We'll say this is the one that was killed with the hammer, so he still has a lot of blood in his body, and then some blood oozes out of the wound. You think it's a pretty good balance weight to the dagger.
I just inspect it a little bit, clean it off, and I'll put them both away, and I'll keep them.
Alessandro, seeing you go through this, walks up to you at the end, and he says, I think those daggers are probably pretty old. It is rare to see bronze weaponry nowadays. And I doubt the orcs know the art of making bronze.
Do you have any hunch on where they came from then?
Hard to say. Perhaps there are ruins in the mountains. I would imagine they would be left over from a time long past.
That would not surprise me.
But bronze does not, like many metals, rust or decay over time. At least not as badly as iron does. That explains why they're in such good shape.
Not that good a shape. Could use some sharpening.
Considering they might be more than 1,000 years old, I'd say they're looking pretty good.
I suppose. Is that how elves judge things?
It's how I judge them. I don't know how elves judge things. He looks insulted.
I'm sure there are a few fine maidens in your homeland that don't look too bad for 1,000 years old either.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That
That's my fucking mom you're talking about.
I see that he has no interest for such jokes, and I go back to Renault.
Yeah, at the end of an hour, unless you do anything else, Reynolds wakes up and slowly wakes up. You can tell it's kind of a longer, probably like at 50 minutes. You can tell he's kind of starting to wake, but he's very groggy. And after an hour, he is fully awake. He's aware of his surroundings. He sits up next to the rock and says, "What? Did we win the battle? Am I alive?"
No, Sir Renault. This is hell. But
Hell?
that
No!
that doesn't mean we should stop our journey. Hell or no hell, there is a road ahead. And I
did not want to go to hell.
I put the bedroll over his head because there's the stealth technique he refused to
Nice,
do.
yeah.
And then I stand him up, and then as everyone's gathering to leave, and it's only just me and him, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and say, "I am sorry. It won't happen again." And then I'll move away.
He says, "Sir, it is not your fault. It was a battle."
And then we'll get moving.
You don't respond to
I
him
don't respond.
when he says that.
I may not even hear it. I may walk away and just like block it.
I know.
Yeah.
I think he's very confused by that because he can't identify what you did wrong that led to this happening.
Because I was so well hidden.
Well, that's fair. I think to Sir Renault, it was just bad luck.
Yeah.
If anything, he might blame himself. But yeah, so you guys get ready. The dwarves begin to lead the way again, and you guys, your party continues on at a slow pace. And after a few hours, you reach the point at which you will need to make a con save for everyone. So let's see those con saves.
Okay. DC's 11, right?
Yep.
Okay. Kristen.
One of the
It's okay.
Monjo is looking exhausted.
It's gonna be all of us, except for who else but Alessandro. All right, right. These guys are 5. Yeah, all right. So it's just me and Kristen again. And Monjo.
Oh, did Kristen roll a nat 1?
Yeah.
Kristen has 2 levels of exhaustion.
What? Fuck.
Kristen looks utterly beaten by the trek. She looks like she is like she needs to sleep for a while.
Shit. Okay. Well, did I roll in that one? No, I rolled a 5.
No.
But I got a 2.
You rolled very. Just rolled by 3. Classic.
I am meek.
If you had like a in fact, even rolling a 5, a character that had a good Constitution saving throw, might have succeeded.
Yeah. You need like a +4, which is pretty hefty.
Plus, you need a +6.
Yeah,
you need a +6 overall.
+4 proficiency, at this level.
Yeah.
Which I do have proficiency. I do have proficiency in con saves. Just gonna put it out there.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because it would be a -5. Christ. Just you've trained not to die. You feel proud of that training. All the long nights you're carrying backpacks around. So your march continues on until you see what appears to be a tower, very similar to the last one you were at. It has the same sort of walkway up to it, but the tower itself looks lighter in color than the other one. The other one had more rainwater stains, more sort of aged look. This one looks like it's a little bit younger, perhaps a lot younger. It might be a newer tower.
A newer tower.
Yeah.
Amazing. I say, oh, this looks very good. When you build these new towers, they're very pretty. You should build another one.
He says, well, I think that it probably would be this is Monjo speaking. It probably would be a good idea to build a new one. This one was built. Oh, what was it? I think this was built about a decade ago.
Oh, it's very new then. Very new, yeah. So it's very pretty. And plus, it's a good job creator. You have to get all the people out here to build it. Then people like Beely, back at the back on the
Beely.
Beely. Yeah, you get them to work the towers. And please tell me this place has more than one bed. I think our treasurer here could use one this evening.
The treasurer could use what?
A bed.
Oh, a bed. He says, well, as it would happen, I believe that this posting has 2 guides assigned to it, so they probably have 2 beds.
Excellent. One for me and one for the treasurer.
He says, well, you'll have to say that. You'll have to convince the guides to give their beds up, I suppose.
Or I just fall asleep and then I am very difficult to wake up. That's a lie. Hold on, let me roll this. It's actually very easy to wake me up. Yeah. You can
well, I think even if you did succeed on the lie, they would just say, well, it doesn't matter how easy you are to wake up. It matters how easy you are to move. Yeah, just pick up.
You've got to be very careful with me, otherwise my limbs will snap off, and then you've got another problem.
He says, look, you'll have to take it up with them. I don't. It's not my bed.
So what you're saying is you won't try to move me. Okay, we have one person on site. Let me walk into the tower.
I don't know what's going on.
I have an ally. It is good to see that I have an ally in the cause.
Nice. The guy walks up to the tower, says something in Dwarvish, and the door gets opened. And you all begin to walk in to this tower. It has some nice, like the last one, some nice wood furnishings, boards that can go and close the windows, a roaring fire in the corner. And you see a guide, similar to the ones that have been with you, similar to Beely, who is sitting near a table. He appears to be cutting up vegetables, and he stands up and walks over and says, well, hello. It is good to meet. It is good to see you. Wait, there's a lot of people coming in here. And as the rest of the party comes in, he says, what do I owe the pleasure?
We are Tarra's Fist. We are traveling through the area. We are very tired. We have had a long walk here. Orcs attacked us. I need food and a bed, and I would be willing to pay coin to get it.
Going to get it. And you can he turns and says, well, I'm not exactly sure
I'm not a fucking inmate.
I'm not exactly sure how Sarah will feel about this, but how much coin are you offering for my bed?
2 gold pieces.
He looks at you like this. Yeah, all right. You can put your boots up over there.
Give him 2 gold pieces.
He holds out his hand.
I give him 2 gold pieces and I start taking my boots off.
He takes your money. I mean, at an inn, this would be this would be a premium fee for a bed. So he's like, okay, sure.
He's like,
I should start an Airbnb. He takes the money, puts it in his in his pouch.
In the corner with all the like jackets and stuff. I'll throw my muddy boots and I'll throw the bow just right on top of the muddy boots.
you can hear Alessandro yip as you throw the bow in kind of like just an instant reaction, like no, don't. He's just like, ah! and when it hits the floor and it just falls into the mud, soaks up it's covered in mud now. And Alessandro just droops his head in shame and sits down. The dwarf who took your money says, "My name's Junie. What Tarius Fist? Those are the boys we have an arrangement with. Wait, Ragni! I remember you. I haven't seen you in many years. That's right, you're with Tarius." And he's cutting up these vegetables, and he says, "Well, if you'll have a meal, I was going to make sort of a pottage. Will you all be eating then?"
Yes.
"Oh, that's fine. I can throw more food in the pot." And he begins to chop up.
These around for weeks, and I pull out my rations worth out of my family basket that I've been carrying, and I'll throw it in the pot for him.
Yeah, you keep getting free food. Yeah. He takes them and says, "Hi, thank you. That'll be much appreciated." And he'll begin to put the food into his pottage that he's making. A pottage is kind of like a stew or a kind of a thick soup of sorts.
After he is done done adding it, I will attempt to repackage the remains, which I failed to do.
They're just like, they're just crumbs. And a few minutes later, as he's cooking the pot, the door opens, and you see a dwarvish woman walk in, and she says, "Aye, we've got company. Well, hello, y'all. My name's Tarra. It is good to meet some new people." And Junie says, "Hey, these are members of Tarra's Fist, Ragni's boys and girls." And she speaks to some of them, says hi to Ragni. As the pottage begins to get poured up, they say, Sarah says, "So where are you? What is your company on the way to? One would presume to White Peak, but what for?"
There is a village there called White Vale. Apparently, there is a lead on our current objectives. We are hunting for someone.
"I know White Vale well. I used to be sent on the caravan missions to the town."
Anything we should be aware of?
"Oh, well, they have a very good selection of a few inns in town, and good people, kind people. Although, I always had a bit of an odd feeling going there. It's very misty, and people say it's magical. Although I'm not sure if I buy that sort of thing."
Well, if it is, our Kristen here will figure it out. Maybe.
"Oh, magic, are you?" She nods. "Well, if you have an expert with you, I'm sure there's nothing to fear."
Oh yes, expert. Definitely the ones I would use. She's an expert. She's a financial expert. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
To her, an expert is just someone who is,
able
more
to cast
confident,
spells. Yeah.
has proficiency in Arcana.
Does she? Wow.
I think she has proficiency in Arcana.
She does. That's wow. Did you go to school?
Why is that surprising? She's a subtype of. She's like a wizard. She's a baby wizard.
A baby wizard. Yeah.
She actually did go to school. That's part of her backstory.
Yeah, but I assume not for magic, right? For treasuring. Let's have a look here.
I'm pretty sure it was for magic.
Oh, it was for magic. Man, she really sucks.
God damn.
You've got
Brutal.
a cantrip and 2 spells.
What?
She's got a cantrip and 2 spells.
One of those she just learned recently.
Exactly.
She's always better at magic theory, you know.
Yeah, she still can't tell me what those armors were. She's like, well, it could be two things, and I can't do it unless I have a spell that I don't know. That is first level.
I don't have the spell, okay?
Yep.
Just leave me alone.
Okay.
You're being so mean.
Okay. It's fine. Where Ragni and it said it's fine. Where Ragni and Alessandro are better versions. She is a worse version, and that's okay.
Yikes. That's fucked up.
Sorry,
that's
Ragni and Renault.
Okay, so
hey, she's very useful for like managing everything and occasionally burning things to a crisp. That's been very useful.
Yeah,
but she can't.
I mean, I think you wouldn't know this, but I do think the number of people who can learn how to be a wizard is even like it's probably one of those things like probably 1 in 10 who try succeed at like in any way. I think it's it's like trying to.
Would Kristen be considered a success?
At least somewhat of a success. The fact that she can cast some spells is probably impressive to some people, although obviously out of character that compared to some of the wizards in the world, she's nothing but a novice, right? Although I don't think she's ever claimed to be like an archmage or something.
Well, but she's not even a first level wizard. It's not like I'm not comparing her to an archmage. I'm comparing her to a first level wizard.
Hey, she's pretty good. She can cast a second level spell twice. First level wizard can't do that shit.
Pretty good. Yeah, but the first level wizard could tell me what those fucking armors were.
If he picked the next magic.
But they get like 8 spells.
So you don't they get 1+? I thought it was 1 plus their intelligence mod, or
no,
I forget what it is
their
actually.
Intelligence mod plus their wizard level, so it would be 1 at first level. So it'd be like
so they get six spells if they had a +5, 5 spells if they had a +4.
Yeah,
which is they probably do.
And they can't prepare all of them. Wait,
they can.
No. That's the amount of spells they can prepare, not the amount of spells they get.
I don't think they get many more than they can prepare. Anyway,
I know they do because I recently made a wizard. Like it's not like massive, but it's a good like you get about 150% of your prepared spells are like I'd say is a rough estimate. Hold on, I have a compendium right here.
So yeah, Kristen is insulted. She's ashamed. No, I'm just kidding. But Sarah says, "Well, seeing as you're heading further down the pass, would you all mind if we asked a favor of you?"
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The Eastern Tower. I have a friend there, and she has not reported back to our most recent messages, and I'm a little worried. I was thinking of making the trek out there myself, but I was wondering if you could go out and just make sure she's all right.
Yes, I think
on the way.
It would be safer for us to do it. To make the trek, you'd have to camp out there, and that's crazy. So,
she says, "You're not going to come."
Oh, we're going to try not to.
Kristen begins to spit up blood. No, I'm just kidding.
We might have to leave her behind. Okay, this is good actually. We will do your favor for us, but in return we need a favor from you. We're going to leave our wizard here with you. I need you to make sure that by the end of the week she makes it the White Veil.
Legit, are you doing this?
I'm gonna ask the question, see if she says it. See if she agrees.
This surprise. Kristen Light is like,
look, you know it's going to be a rough ride tomorrow. Do you really want to go in the state you're in?
She says, "Well, I'm not saying I love it, but I think I'll still manage better than you. No offense."
None taken.
But she says, "But of course, if you think it's best, then I have no issues." and Sarah says, "Well, I don't see an issue with that. I suppose we could send her. Yeah, we could make sure that once she's well rested, send. I can send Junie here with her. Make sure she gets to Whitevale all right."
Okay. Well, then we'll deliver. We'll check in for you.
Excellent. All you have to do to tell me that everything is all right when you get there, we use signal fires to communicate with each other. We're high enough up in the mountains that you can actually see many miles into the distance. Very useful. And she walks over to a cabinet and opens it. It's near the fireplace, and she pulls out 2 stacks of paper and she shows them to you. One of them is they both look a little bit strange, coarser than normal paper, thicker than normal paper. And one of them appears to be white, like bone white, and the other appears to be charcoal black. And she says, if you put these in the fire, it'll create much more smoke than usual. We use them to signal. White means everything's all right. Black means to send help. So when you get there, just burn a signal. I don't know why she's not responding, but you can at least send a signal. I'm not asking that you stick around and wait for help to arrive, but just make sure we know what's going on.
Okay, I agree, and I'll tell someone else to carry those, but I will agree.
Cool.
And I'll go to bed after food.
Yeah. You go to bed, and the food was of another good quality. Probably actually better because it was made using your fresh-ish vegetables from your farm, homegrown, and you go to sleep. Probably, I don't know. Perhaps does Tarius dream a lot in his sleep?
No, completely. Like he hits the pillow and then he's instantly awake.
Oh, okay. Reminds me of someone during a certain part of her career.
Maybe not though. Maybe he spent some time in the abyss of blackness, but no, he doesn't dream.
Oh, okay. Just staring out. Do you dream?
Yeah, I dream a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because I know some people who don't. I always feel bad for them because I think dreaming is just very fun or interesting.
I don't know.
You don't enjoy it?
Conversation. We should talk about it on like a podcast sometime because I have a very mixed relationship with dreams.
I think I get more good ones than bad ones, or like at least more interesting ones than bad ones.
I get really good dreams, but I don't think I like that. I think it fucks with me. Like, I don't like waking up afterwards. It's not really good for the mental state when you have good dreams.
That makes sense.
Dreams, yeah.
Because you're like, my life is so much more shit than that.
Yeah. I'd rather just go back to sleep. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's depressing. So.
Yikes.
How many miles are we covering today? What's the track?
You are covering. I would not recommend traveling slowly, but I can calculate it for you.
That's not the plan, trust me.
What'd you say?
That's not the plan, trust me.
Not the plan. So you are going to be traveling 6,000 nuts. It's way more. Oh my. Oh my shit. 156 miles. Wait, that is completely wrong.
That's
in the calculation.
It was a 13-hour trip at normal speed, right? In difficult terrain.
19 and a half miles is what you're traveling.
19 and a half in difficult terrain. All right. Ooh. we can do it in 10 and a bit hours at fast pace. I think. 19 and a half, so it's 15 miles for a fast pace 8-hour day. And then it'd be 2 miles every hour from there, so you'd hit 19 and you'd have half a mile to go. Alright. At fast pace, it's 10 and a bit hours.
Oh, so you can do the whole thing in 10 hours at fast pace.
Yeah, with a little over 10 hours, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
I don't think there's any other considerations to throw into there. I think that's absolutely the play. I'm thinking about whether we just take Kristen. Because if we get that second level of exhaustion, then that's fine, because we're going half a mile. I mean, obviously, Kristen's even fine with 3 levels of exhaustion. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take Kristen.
Okay.
Inform me if I'm forgetting anything crazy here.
No, I mean, yeah, let me just, I don't think you are. Let me check.
Let's see, if Kristen gets to 2 early, then that would be her speed halved, right? But we definitely have people carry her without being under carrying capacity, so that wouldn't slow us down. So I think we could do the 2 hours.
So yeah. So according to this, you can travel 15. Oh yeah, okay. So it's an extra. So it's 2 times. Yeah. I think that. I think you're good to go.
All right, we take Kristen. We'll have to work out some other. Like, they'll just owe us a favor, and then we'll head out. It's -5
Okay.
passive perception. We're gonna get a jog on.
The dwarves are like, we've never tried just walking very fast. It's an interesting concept. You're saying you can just move your legs quicker. But how do you do it when you have such stubby bodies? Anyway.
It makes it hard to meme when you just meme yourself.
Okay, so
who needs a 3rd tower when you have walking fast?
What was it?
Who needs a 3rd tower when you can just walk very fast?
It's speed walk. It's exhausting. It's who has time for that though?
We're hiking through the mountain trails. It's great. I assume we're not running. We're just hiking. You know.
No, just you're keeping up a real solid pace.
Yeah.
Through the mountains.
When we see it particularly nasty, you know, thing, the guys are like, we should go around it. We're like, let's just climb over it. that's the kind of thing we're doing.
Nice. Why don't you roll me a d6?
Okay. That's a low dice, Marshall. These are dangerous parts. 4.
Okay. You pass several thousand orcs.
Okay.
None of them notice you.
Good.
It's an orc army, and they actually notice you, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" They're completely unrelated to the other orcs you met. They're very friendly.
Oh, nice to meet you.
They're all friends with the orc bard.
Oh yeah. Wait, I didn't know he was a bard. Spoilers. He's a storyteller.
Orc. Well, when I say, I'm not necessarily saying bard as in he has the class bard, but bard in the medieval sense that a bard is someone who travels and tells stories and sings songs and things like that. So
I didn't know he sang songs. Maybe.
Well, maybe he. I don't think he sang. Well, no, I don't think he sang when he was around you. I guess it's a bit of a spoiler, but
I feel spoiled.
But I'm not committing to the fact that he's a magic user.
Okay. Good. I think one of the most pressing things that I'd like to see that homebrewed well or something is a non-magical bard class in 5e. I think it's really important to like a lot of worlds.
To a lot of what?
Worlds.
Yeah. Do you think you'd enjoy playing it, or you just think it would be good to have?
I might enjoy playing it. I'm not sure. I'd have to say it. But I think it'd be definitely really good to have. As someone who runs 5e a lot at the moment, I'd like just a very like easy to like use non-magical bard template.
Have you looked into it? I mean, there's a lot of homebrew classes out there.
I haven't.
You could look up on the wiki, see if there's anything that a lot of them are pretty trash. You have to obviously screen them, but some of them are decent. So you guys push on, hiking through the mountain, quick as you go, and you reach the 9th hour of the trek. Why don't you roll?
Do I have to?
I think so.
Okay.
All right then.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Oh, Alessandro. Renault.
Let me roll for the guides.
Oh, I mean, actually, as things go, that's not too bad. So, me, Alessandro, and Renault.
Nice.
I think we were climbing a particularly precarious little rock at this point, and I was like, oh my god. This is a good idea, but I hate that it had to be a good idea. And I pulled it to the top of the rock.
And so I think that... did you just have to make that check? Or did you have to make the 10th?
What do you mean? No.
Did you?
It's after 10 hours that we get there. It's like 10 and a bit. Because 10 hours only gets us 19 miles, and it's 19 and a half.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So some of you are pretty exhausted. I'm guessing you're going to push on to the end, though?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not to the end, but to the 10th hour.
And then, yeah, okay. To the 10th. That's fair. Yeah, okay. So roll your con saves.
Okay.
Hey!
Wait, does a nat 20 reduce my exhaustion if a nat 1 ups it by 2?
Sure!
Yay! Alright.
I like to... I'm a big fan of incorporating, when possible, benefits, boons, and curses into 1s and 20s. I think it's a fun part of any RPG if you can do it. 13 for Alessandro.
Kristen's up to 2. Renault.
Yikes, Kristen is
5.
fucking rough.
Kristen's like, you thought you would do this? I'm running. I get my second wind at this point, and I'm like, well, fuck it. My second wind barely heals me. I'm actually going to use second wind at this point. And then I turn to Kristen and I go, you thought you were going to do better than me, huh? I'm built for this shit. You know, that high mountain wear. Oh, I love it. So
oh
I still
my god. Kristen looks like she's going to pass out.
Ragni still needs to make 1, I believe. And he fails. Come on, Ragni, we're almost there, I think.
He's slowly crawling. Who's the worst off? I think it is Kristen. I think Kristen has the worst.
Kristen and Ragni. Oh, Ragni's only at 1, isn't it? Yeah, Ragni's only at 1, so it's only Kristen that's at 2.
And one of the guides, the woman has 1 level of exhaustion. So yeah, Kristen is looking pretty rough. But I'm guessing, I forget, at 2 levels of exhaustion, what's the penalty?
Her speed is halved.
Okay, so for the last bit, Kristen is just...
Come on, Kristen. Come on, it's half a mile, Kristen. We have traveled 19 miles today. You do not think you can do half a mile? Come on. Look at me in the eyes. Look, eyes here. Eyes here. Come on. All right? We get there. There is a bounty of gold. All of our debts paid off. Now go.
She looks like she's just a corpse running on a treadmill. And yeah, you probably have a few, little left to go. Do you push the last little half a jog, whatever it is?
Well, yeah. I mean, we can even
might as well, right?
Even if we move at Kristen speed, we can cover a mile in an hour. So half a mile, we shouldn't have to worry.
Cool. So you push on for the last little bit. Kristen is doing her best to keep moving. Some of you are pretty tired, but Tarius has he's found the mountain air is therapeutic.
Yeah. This is the first time in months he's used the second wind ability, and he's feeling really good.
You should maybe Tarius wants to create. When he's rich, he can build a vacation home up in the mountains.
Ooh, maybe a monastery.
Go skiing. Yeah, a monastery to Tarius or to Tarra, not to Tarius.
To Tarra, that sounds fun. Yeah.
Well, what else? Because usually monasteries have a religious bent, unless you just meant like a secular monastery.
No,
which
maybe
I guess
like a religious monastery, but rather than a deistic. I don't know. Rather than one to a deity, it's more of like a spiritual kind of. What's the word?
Just a place to sort of meditate and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
they have like principles and rather than. Like,
yeah. So you guys dedicate to philosophical principles rather than religious ones. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think there are some non-deity religions, right?
They're what?
I think there are some. I'm trying to think of the right words. I think there are some religions.
Confucianism, if you consider it a religion.
I
Taoism, if you consider it a religion.
Okay.
And which I think most people do consider Taoism religion. And Buddhism is kind of like.
Yeah.
Because like Buddha is like revered, but he's not really a god in their religion. He's not like the creator or anything. I don't think. So Buddhism is one where I think they honor ideals above any sort of figure. Buddha is represents these ideals, but isn't like the creator of matter and time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Buddhism is probably the best example. That makes sense. Sort of what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that was the one I had in mind, but then I remembered that like Buddha existed. And I don't know enough about it to like say it like as well.
They believe he reached enlightenment under a tree, but I don't think that means he was like the son of a god or anything like that. I think he's just sort of someone they revere. So you go to the God. There's gonna be some Buddhists who like find this video and they're like, these fucking ignorant pieces of shit. So you guys reach the last tower. This tower looks fairly old. In fact, it looks even older than the first tower you visited. This looks like the oldest of them all.
Oh my.
Like the first one they built. Which, if you look on the map, makes sense logistically speaking, because it is the farthest from Clan Grim of the towers. You're basically right here. You're at the edge of the mountains. God, can you imagine when this was the only tower, the walk they had to do? Just even at a quick pace, they're just.
One incredibly smart guy said we should build a second tower.
Just a fucking G. Well, the second tower was here, right? Was over here, and then a really smart guy was like, "Hey, let's build a fucking tower right here."
In 100 years' time, about this gaunt human bastard who was like, you should build a third tower, and then legendarily did the walk to the old towers in one day. Anyway, they'll at the Tarius Tower they will speak of the time where they went from the oldest tower to the newest tower, or from the
and of course. Because of the slow degeneration of bone structure, at this point, people can only travel, 6 hours a day. They're like, we need to build another tower.
Yeah, Tarius' great-grandson, who's even more meek than him, who has the same, genetics and stuff, but he's a rogue instead of a fighter, so he's only got 2 hit points. And he shows up and he's like, we should build another tower and call it the Barius Tower.
The Barius. Barius is a cool name. Tarius. Anyway,
Tarius?
so yeah, you begin to climb up the tower, but
I mean, the steps going up. I assume we're not climbing the.
no, there's steps.
Yeah.
But you recognize that not all is well. As you see that the door to the tower has been burst down. It is completely open, and the inside looks dark. Does not look like there is any light coming from it.
You know, in hindsight, perhaps we should have thought of this errand as a bit of a warning. This is kind of a problem. You know, I didn't even factor into my head that perhaps the tower might not be safe. You know, you clan Grimfuckers got to get your shit together. Oh, travel the mountains, Tarius, they said. They'll be safe, they said. We could be in a city or village right now. We could have gone to West Fork. We could have traveled the river. It could have been so easy. Pulled out the swords. Stay behind me. Like cautiously.
You're going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's dark.
Ragni looks very he does not look happy about this. He looks upset. And as you guys begin to walk up
sorry, do followers gain all their hit points back on the long rest?
On a long rest, yes.
Okay. Sorry, go on. Apologies.
Yes. And I believe on a short rest, regardless of level, they get back 1.
Oh, cool.
So they just, instead of just rolling hit die, they just get back 1.
Dice converts to 1.
Yeah. So you begin to climb up the tower. Are you trying to stealth up, or are you just walking up prepared?
So right now I haven't gotten to the door yet, right?
No, you're stepping up to it.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to stealth up, yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll. It's totally chill.
9.
Okay. You begin to creak up. Each step goes as you get up to the door, and you peer in, and you can see that this is no well furnished hall of stone. This is a hollow place. You think that a lot of the things that were in here have been taken, and you think that the only thing you see that's left is the bed, basically.
His eyes light up. Oh, don't worry, everybody. Everything's fine.
Lying next to the bed is appears to be a dead body. A dwarf woman who looks like she has passed away.
Passed away, so it looks beaten. So wait, how light is it in this room if I can see that?
It's not pitch black in it. It's just that there's not a lot of windows, so there's just a little bit of light coming in. I just meant that the other towers, when you walked in, there were like torches and fires burning, right? They were very alive and warm. So it's dim. It's dim light, basically.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try to sneak towards to the body.
Okay. You slip towards the body and see see that she is wearing chainmail that has been torn, cut through. You see a pool of dried blood under her, and you see that her hand is still gripping fast onto her axe that lies next to her.
Wait, you said the chainmail had been ripped up. or ripped slightly.
Torn from injuries, basically.
From injuries. And what do the injuries look like?
They look like thick, long gashes, probably like 6 inches long, 2 inches in width, and there's 2 of them.
And I don't think those look like weapons that I would be aware of.
Roll a medicine check to see if you can identify it with a weapon or not with a weapon.
18.
You don't think that this was caused by a weapon. You think it's pretty rare for a weapon to be able to tear armor this badly. And I'll say that Ragni, Ragni will sort of slip up to you. He's pretty sure there's no one in the room. It's a pretty small room. So he just slips up to you, but he doesn't yell in case there's people elsewhere. And he just whispers, I checked the door. It was a fine stone door. Couldn't be destroyed by an orc. Not unless it had some sort of device or contraption. Something bigger than an orc tore that door down.
Is there stairs in these towers, or is it just this? Is it just a hollow? Is it just one hollow room? I guess is what I'm asking.
It's just one big room. Yeah, all the towers were just one big room.
So, I asked Kristen to shoot a scorching ray at the top of the tower.
What did you ask?
Kristen to shoot a scorching ray up to the top of the tower to light it up. From inside, to shoot a scorching ray directly up to the top of the tower.
Did you hit the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay. She fires, and it just blasts over the stone ceiling, and the fire drips down.
Okay, and I specifically keep a look around to make sure there's nothing on the walls or the ceilings.
You don't see anything.
Okay. And she has 3 rays, so I'm going to make sure one's in the center, one's on the right, and one's on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. Do we have pin? So what's left of the door? What's the state of the door at the moment?
Rubble, basically. It could be... Ragni says we could stack the rubble, form a sort of barricade. It would keep some things out. Wild animals, probably.
Okay, do that.
Yep, Ragni has some of the others stack the rubble, and he begins to clean up the body, wipes away the blood, and he takes the body down, and has some words with the guides, and he comes back to you and says, "The guides will be taking the body back with them. Whatever has happened is past, but I think we should light the fire, nonetheless."
Can the black smoke be seen at night? Would it not be better to wait till morning?
I would send it as soon as possible.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. So Ragni builds a fire and throws in the black paper, and curtains of black smoke fill the sky. Okay. And yeah, there's the food that was once in this place seems to have been taken. Other valuables have been taken. The furniture looks like as you begin to walk around, look at other things, the furniture looks like it has scratch marks on it. Big scratch marks. You're not sure what they're exactly from, but could be from weapons or could be from claws, nails. and the anything of use or value. The only thing that you can tell that is of any value that was not taken, unless you consider the bed to be a value, which you probably do, but the only thing of that is small and of value that wasn't taken was the dwarves' axe.
Interesting.
Um,
I'm gonna light. Well, they've already lit the fire, so I'm gonna prepare food for everybody.
Nice.
I'm gonna obviously give the guides some of our food.
Cool. Yeah.
6 of us, right? No, 7 of us.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey, 2 rations.
Pretty good. Oh, plus Mosh.
Yep. So you guys eat this. You eat 7 days of rations right here, and at the end you collect everything that's left over and start to put it in bags, and you have 2 rations left over. And I'm guessing you go to bed.
Yeah.
Ragni says to you that he is going to working with the. He's basically going to set up a watch of all the people who have dark vision. He says that since the door isn't completely intact, he thinks it's appropriate.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, so that should be fine. Just 2 hours each across the 8.
And the dark, billowing sleep begins to take you, and you fall asleep. And that is the end of this session.
Okay, awesome.
A session filled with death.
Yeah.
And possible death.
Indeed.
In which Sir Renault did not die.
No. Wasn't really even close.
What?
Wasn't even really close, probably.
No, he wasn't. For it to be close, someone would have had to. Another orc would have had to crit him again while he was on the ground.
Well,
that would have
just
been really...
hitting him would have given him 2 death saves, 2 death hits. But
well, no, critting him would have been 2 damage die, which would have killed him instantly.
Killed him outright, yeah. But if they just hit him, that's still 2 failed death saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean a natural, like if one of them rolled a nat 20, it would because it would double his health. Wait, that actually, would be really bad. But
no, it would kill him anyway because it's an auto crit, and it would up it to 2 damage dice. So if someone attacked him,
that's right. So if anyone attacked him while he was down, it would have killed him. Yeah. Fuck. That's spooky.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
That's spooky.
That's spoopy.
That is spoopy. So yeah, you Tarius had quite a session today. I think he won't forget this anytime soon, I bet.
No, yeah, we killed some orcs, made it to the first tower, and then we did the great 19.5-mile mountain trek.
19. Classic.
I mean,
that's a Vlasic classic.
That is genuinely probably the most physically exhausting thing Tarius would have ever done, and he's happy that he got his second wind at the end. He's very proud
it's
of himself.
Certainly the most physically exhausting thing I've ever done. If I had done it.
Oh, if you had done it, okay. I thought you meant actually like running it.
No, I mean if I had to do that would be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I haven't done it yet. I want to do it one of these days. Actually do a 24-mile day. Like actually try to cover the quote unquote walking day.
No, that's 24 isn't always. Oh shit! Yeah, no, it is normal. That's on like a road though.
Actually, the book says it's on a road or open ground. Anything that's clear. If it's not difficult terrain, I think any normal human being it would kill them. I think 24 miles in a day would just make you fucking like. I don't have a problem with it because adventurers are obviously different than regular people. But I think a regular person doing that, it would break them.
I don't know if you can find 24 miles of that kind of terrain these days outside of very, very specific places, I guess. Like I've been watching a lot of just people just doing some fun walking stuff, and there's just so much like fucking hills and bushes and fences and fucking just in the like.
There's I live in a very flat part of the world. Land here is incredibly flat, so you can find 50, 100-mile stretches here where there's barely any hills. It's doable where I am,
and
but
no fences
probably
or like bushes or trees or anything like that.
Well, what I would do if I was going to do it would go to a park and plan out the route.
Oh yeah, you
like
just run
like at a
same area over
at a state park or something.
That's boring though.
Well, even if you went to like the national parks here are so big, you wouldn't even have to go through the same route over and over. You could plan out an entire non-contiguous route that was 24 miles. It would be crazy. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but it would be fun just to see what an adventurer has to go through.
You should absolutely vlog it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Share it with the world. Live stream it.
Oh, you should live stream it.
I don't know how I would do that, but I would just have to make sure I had my I would have to have a big battery with me on my phone or something, and like keep it charged the entire time.
There are a bunch of streamers that do like a bunch of IRL streams. You could probably find like advice from them or something. Like there's probably some guides out there. Yeah, I would think there's a way to do it. If I was so inclined, it would definitely make it more it would keep me entertained as other people watch me slowly suffer. I think it would be such a gradual process too, because like the first 2 hours it would be like, this is like such a relaxing day, and then you could do
the next 2 hours
you could do sequels where if it goes decently, you could be like, let's try 30 miles. And then afterwards, you could do like, okay, we're only going to go 18, but I've got to stealth the entire way. You're going to be like crouched and like crawling and shit the entire way.
That would be fucking brutal. That would be way worse.
No, but it doesn't. You don't have to be crawling or crouched the entire way, but if somebody sees you, you fail the challenge. You need to stay like... You need to stay away from people in a creepy way.
I think a marathon is 26 miles, right? So that's like, so a day's travel. It's only 2 miles less than a marathon in this game. That's
but a marathon. Don't you run? You run a marathon.
You run a marathon. Okay, yeah. You run a marathon, but it's still an extremely long day. Like it's a wild distance. Anyway, in terms of XP, yeah, today a lot was done. You succeeded on your trek. Well, for the most part. You've got a little bit left. The worst part.
No,
just kidding.
The worst. Today was the worst. Today was the hype.
Today is probably the next part is probably the easiest part because you're now heading downward. Yeah. You're heading out of the mountain.
We've done the 19.5-mile mountain trek.
Fuck. Vlog that shit.
Darius was after he got a second wind. He was like, "We're here with Kristen. She's not doing very well." Pog champs for Kristen. Monk ass. Monk W on my right team. Look at how terrible Kristen is doing. Monk ass.
400 XP for today.
Ooh. Can I get 25 extra from something?
Are you 25 away?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's torturous. Just torturous.
I still haven't figured out what I want to do at level 4, so it's fine.
What'd you say?
I still haven't figured out what I want to do at level 4. We need a narrative moment where Tarius decides whether or not he's ever going to use that fucking bow.
Fucking. I mean, yeah. That's a good point. Maybe Alessandro will come to you one of these, maybe next session or at some point, and he'll be like, "Look, I get you got the whole fucking weird thing in your brain going on, but please, for the love of God, start acting like a regular fucking person." It's just like, can you imagine if he just chews you the fuck out tomorrow?
I think that would make Tarius. I think the type of person Tarius is, he would be more inclined to do the melee thing after that. He'd be like, I'm gonna show him.
And then he died.
Honestly, I think the whole thing with Tarius liking the melee thing is literally to spite the world. It was like he was born as a person who can't do this, and he's gonna prove it wrong. That's why he trained as a fighter in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And his uncle was like, please, just pick up the bow, boy.
It was like, oh, fine, but it is a status symbol. I am not going to use it.
And then you fucking nail the bullseye, and he's like, please use it, you're so good.
Oh, it's just too easy. You got to do it the hard way.
It's only easy because you're good at it. Yeah, so he, so next session, you guys will be traveling to Whitevale, and you'll get to see what it's like in the fair town, not really a city, of Whitevale.
One step closer here in session 8 to getting to the actual, adventure.
One step closer, 2 steps out. We'll see. We'll see if if you can get into the adventure, that's huge. That means he survived all the way to the gates of the adventure.
And leveled up twice in the meantime.
And leveled up twice. That's pretty good.
That's actually a good point. I probably shouldn't go there until I've had a long rest, because you do level up some long rests.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should just go do some.
I doubt you would, because tomorrow is 7 hours of travel, and that will get you just to Whitevale. So you were probably
fast.
What?
Not if we go fast pace.
Gotta go fast.
Zoom.
You gonna zoom?
Well, what's the mileage on it? It's like 7 hours. Is it the same as the first day? So 10.5 miles.
Yeah.
So let's see here. And wait, is this all difficult?
5. It would be 5 hours. I just did the math.
At fast pace.
Yeah.
Is all of the trip to Whitevale difficult terrain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is Whitevale in the mountains?
It's right at the edge of them. For the purposes of counting difficult terrain, I'm saying it's all there. Obviously, there's probably a little bit at the very end that's not, but for the most part, it's all difficult terrain.
Yeah. Well, we lived up to the podcast's name. But what is the name of today's session?
The name of today's session is The Bloody Pass.